Father's Day. So in most of the European countries, it's the day off, it's holidays. And yeah, for me too also. So I'm in my home office this morning and not in my normal office to make this show this morning to talk about running trades and trading ideas. And of course, most important, what we have to do is to manage our running trades, because we have a lot of running trades actually. So I hope you're doing good and you had a great night and a wonderful start in your own trading day. And of course, you will enjoy this day off. Maybe you have your own day off, Father's Day today, and you can join it, you can enjoy it, and you will have a lot of fun today with your friends maybe today. Okay, so we stream this show on YouTube. At the same time, you will find a button in the right corner to subscribe the channel, to give us a like if you want, to leave a comment below this video after the show, or you can get in touch with me directly right now on YouTube in the chat and of course here on Zoom also. And I can see this morning, Olsi Relaxation, good morning. Anchor, good morning. Nice to have you here in this show. So don't hesitate to ask whatever is in your mind. I can see it in the chat, and if it fits to the show and if I have time for it, then I will give you the answer. Otherwise, if you miss the answer, then you have always the possibility to get in touch with me directly by a private message over my homepage or on Traders Yard, or I'm quite sure you will find the possibility to find me anywhere online. Please be careful, because there are a lot of fake accounts with my picture, but it's not me outside there. So please, if you're not sure, then go on my homepage and ask me, send me a notification, whatever there is. But be careful, because there are so many fake accounts outside and you can do nothing. Unfortunately, I report all of those fake accounts, but most of the times I get a message from Facebook: this is not a fake account, this is not a violation about our rules, so you can do nothing. So please be careful about such things. Okay, so let me share my screen. And let me fix. So I'm looking to my second screen here above. So don't be confused when I'm looking a little bit higher, because there's my second screen here. And let's see here who is with me this morning on Zoom. Hartmut, good morning. Mladen, Remo, good morning. Isaac, good morning. Nice to have you here. Petya, Georgetta, good morning. Raquel, good morning. And George, Jens, Yannicka, good morning. I love to have you here in this show. I hope you're doing good. So let's start with a view at the economy news. Oh, by the way, we start with the risk note on the bottom of the slide. You can see CFDs are complex instruments and come with a higher risk of losing money rapidly due to leverage. So be aware that you're responsible for your own trading. We don't give any advice here in this show. Janish, Imreni, good morning. So we just talk about possible trading ideas. You're responsible for your own trades. So be aware of this. So the economic news this morning come from Australia. The first quarter business investment falls short of expectations. Then the GDP seen down 1.3, and the orders for long-lasting goods rose modestly in April. So that's about the news this morning. What do we expect today and upcoming events? In Canada, we expect a retail trade this afternoon at 2:30. Then the weekly export sales 2:30, the second estimate GDP USA, and the gas storage report again. No, I'm not back in Bangkok. It's just the background here because I'm in home office. So I'm back in Germany. Everything is fine. Okay, so that's the numbers we expect today. And be aware that in Germany, it could be a little bit calm day because about the day off, but the markets are still working because it's not overall of Father's Day around the world. So the markets are working, but especially in DAX, it could be a kind of calm day today. If you want to be well informed, then I want to invite you to our Telegram channel here on Admirals. You will find the link in the chat right now, and on YouTube, of course, also. We have 826 subscribers, and I hope we can get up to 900 or finally to 1,000. So this is a wonderful channel. You will find every single information you need for your trading, and you have just to click the button on your phone or here on the screen, and everything is going well. Okay, so let's come to our running trades. And first of all, you know, we make day trading, and I make day trading too, but just only one market, and that's the DAX, because this is just the one market most of traders will follow and will trade. Most of traders fail and don't make money with DAX trading. We just have the Dow-How approach, and we have the exit strategy. It's the trend following system. So most of the times we make money. Otherwise, we have to cut the loss, and the losses are a part of the game. That's normal because we just work with probabilities. So losses are a part of the game. So make sure that you cut the loss, that you control the losses, and on the other side, but you have to make sure that you let the profits run, because it's fine if you learn to cut the loss, but if you don't learn to let the profits run, then it's kind of, you just 2 steps forwards, 1 back. So you have to learn both sides to cut the loss if the trend is not going on or it's not starting in the entry arm. But it's also important, and I would say most important and more important, that you let the profits run, because you will never know how far the trend can go. So in DAX 40 in 10 minutes, actually, you see where we are and why we, circling around, why the trend is not really going on, why it's a kind of whipsaw here in DAX 40 in 10 minutes, for example, because we are within the red zone. And you know, the point of control is a little bit lower, 13,944. But here at this point, at this price here, 14,039, it's also a high volume zone. So and the market is swiping here between those 2 levels. So therefore, that's the point why the market is not really coming up or down. So, but nevertheless, the trend is still valid. So, and you know, we had 2 trades running. So, and the short, which came from down, were get out yesterday at my entry. So it was not a loss because I trailed my stop to the last 0.3, a little bit in profit because I was not sure about the volume zone. And I had a good intention, a good feeling to trail the stop a little bit in profit to avoid a loss. So it was just 2-3 pips in profit. Everything is fine. So, and on the other side, the long trend actually is still running. And as you know, a second trend arm here, which means I opened the long position as a correction. And now the long trend is actually the main trend. Yeah, and there is no downtrend for the moment. So, and you see the stop loss is above the below the last 0.3. Yeah, and everything, it's working for the moment. So let's see. I don't intervene and I don't care because I calculated my money. It's not my job to interpret or to predict the market, because we follow the price and we don't predict the price in the future, because, you know, it's a zero-sum game trading, and prediction the price is always a 50-50 chance. And in a zero-sum game, you can never make money with 50-50. You need a mathematic edge on your side, and the Dow-How approach and the trend following is a big edge on your side, but only if you follow the rules all the time. So we have 5 top instruments at Admirals, and this is, of course, Bitcoin. This is the DAX, the Dow, gold, and euro. And we want to have a look at those 5 top instruments. So we start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, nothing moves, by the way. The Bitcoin doesn't move, actually. It extends, Bitcoin extends the sideways phase or the correction. It's still a downtrend, and we are still in the correction. There's still a downtrend. There is no uptrend for the moment. So for a trend follower, there is nothing to do because the downtrend is too old and there is no new uptrend. So we're still standing on the sideline. And as you know, and as I taught you in the last month and almost 1.5 years almost, we have a guarantee as private traders. By the way, you know, we don't have a guarantee at all, but this is a kind of guarantee for us private traders, though we have no influence to the price, but this is a kind of guarantee that, you know, there must be happen two things. Either the trend will continue or the trend will break. So that's the guarantee. For trend followers, that's an awesome guarantee. And for that, you can count on. Yeah, you don't have to speculate. You have to just speculare, you mean observing. You have to watching what happens, not predicting. Yeah, speculare means observing, not predicting. That's really important. So therefore, just stay on the sideline. That's the point. Okay, next part is the gold price. And in gold price, we have basically a new uptrend. And the new uptrend, as you can see, is this one. We're starting at the point of control. The first trend arm, that was the second one. We had the third one, and there was no trend continuation. So it just means we are still in the third trend arm, and the trend will break here, which means if you see a recovery or turnaround with the balance candle, then you can open a trade in the third trend arm too, and speculating on a trend continuation here also. Rather good morning here in the show. That's the gold price. Let's see about the Dow Jones. Yeah, and Dow Jones has a kind of up and down yesterday. And basically the downtrend is still valid, as we mentioned, since kind of weeks, I would say, because since mid of April, we are in a big downtrend. You can see here, that's the second trend arm. Here was the third one and the fourth one. And here are kind of the fifth one right now. So this trend will break here and will continue there. And on the right side of the chart, we have now this first trend arm and this second one and this third one. So we need a correction deeper 38. And then maybe we can open the trade in the third trend arm. In case you missed the entry in the second trend arm, then you can open in the third again, because rule number 2 means latest in the fourth trend arm, you have to open the trade, because if you want a trend follower, but you remember the best thing is you open in the second trend arm to get a cheap price. And by the way, it's a good chance, because to speculate and to think about a bigger recovery of the market, because the point of control is very high and much way far away from the current price. So maybe there is no obstacle I can see about the volume from the point of control. Here you see the next one is here, and this is quite far away from the point of control. So I guess we can think about that there could be show up a new uptrend. So be a part of it and don't miss it. And if not, then you have to calculate the money and you have to trailer stop and everything is fine. We don't predict, we just follow the price. Let's see about the DAX 40. And in DAX 40, unfortunately, there's still no trend. So check it out again, because there was an uptrend. It was this one. So there was the uptrend, new high, and there was the break, which means there was a big move which broke the trend. And now there is no trend. There is no uptrend and there is no downtrend, because we just have this move, but there was no close above. So there is no trend for the moment. Now we need a close lower or we need a close higher. In the case we have a close lower, then we have a new downtrend. And if you have a close higher, then we have a new uptrend. So where are the more probabilities? If I consider that the point of control is higher, like the Dow Jones, then I would say the probabilities are a little bit more on the higher side, on the upper side. So, but the most important thing is you have to wait until you have a trend. Without a trend, of course, you can do whatever you want, but then you have less probabilities on your side. Okay, gold we talked about. Let's come to Euro USD. And in Euro USD, we have a running trade. Price comes a little bit back. Actually, you see there is no break. There's not really a break here because there was no close. Therefore, I work with soft stop. You see, there's a kind of smart trading. Yeah? And if we have a close, then we can trail the stop. And then we are out, and then we had a lovely, lovely trend, and we made money. And you know, it's not important how much money you will make. You take what the market will give you. That's the point. When we started the trade, we were just happy if the price is working for us. But that is really important. Then you have to release your emotions. Yeah, your emotions should never influence the technical part in trading. Yeah, and by the way, it's a mathematic part in trading. It's statistic, and there's nothing to do with emotions, which means you cannot delete your emotions because you're a human being. What you have to do is to control the emotions, that your emotions never influence the technique or the technical part in trading. So therefore, we made money. However, and that's the point, we can start the trade and the trend from a new point. So this is Euro USD for the moment. Okay, there comes up a question from you, and this is, please, NASDAQ in 1 hourly chart. Of course, it's my pleasure. In 1 hourly chart, oh, that's really interesting. Okay, we come from here, 1 and 2 and 3, but then there was a break, but there was no uptrend, which means we have to start here again. So basically we in a downtrend in the second trend arm, but on the right side of the chart, there is there was not a close. Yeah. No. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. We have the leading trend is an uptrend. So the basic trend, the main trend is facing downwards in the second trend arm, and the leading trend is upwards, facing upwards. So maybe you can wait until here for a new balance candle. In case you jumped in the market here by this balance candles here, then you have your stop loss here. But because you have now trend candles against your position, it's time to close, to cut the loss and just waiting for a new re-entry. But also be aware that the downtrend can also continue at every time. Yeah, but please be aware of this. Yeah, so maybe you can set a catastrophic order on the way down, but also be prepared that the price will go up again. It's not a wonderful picture, but sometimes it is like this. If you learn to draw the trend, you know what you have to do. So let's see on YouTube if I have any questions there. So can you look British pound, Swiss franc for hourly chart? Of course. British pound, Swiss franc. Oh, here we go. I have it on my watch list also. Yeah, and this is really important because the problem in British pound Swiss franc is that if you scroll in a little bit, that you have here with this spike, with this spike here. No, that's not. With this spike here, you have a fake. So therefore, it's not really a trend continuation because this fake shows us that the institutional money wants to go long. And if you want to go long, you need sellers. So therefore, they trick the market out to bring the people to sell that the big money can buy. And this happens exactly here. So that means we don't have a valid trend. And without a valid trend, you know, rule number 1, there is not allowed, you don't have a permission to open a trade. So just wait if you have a clear close below this spike and then the correction, and then we can go down. So therefore, just still on the watch list for British pound, Swiss franc. So can you have a look at British Pound USD? Yes, of course, because it's one of my running trades. And before we come to the running trades, I have my question of the day for you. And the question of today is, how long does it take to grow from a small account to a big account? You see, that's the topic for this week. How long does it take to grow from a small account to a big account? What would you say? 1 month, 1 year, or maybe 10 years from a small account? And think about in your own mind, what does it mean, a small account and a big account? It's up to you. So, because everybody has a different perception about big and small, by the way. So just make your decision. So let's come to my running trades. And we start with Australian dollar, Swiss franc. And you see here you have a big benefit when I teach you to be prepared always for both sides. Yeah, if you have 2 trends in the second trend arm, then you have to be prepared for both sides. So that means this one was a loser because the uptrend was not continuing. So therefore I opened, but I also cut the loss. And at the same time, I opened a short, and this is wonderful if you have a software like here in Admirals with MetaTrader, that you can work in both sides, and that's a big deal. And you see this trend now is in profit, and we had a kind of trend continuation in the meantime, and that means we can trail the stop. So because this is the correction, and here we go, that's a trend continuation here. And that means, yeah, we can trail the soft stop here to the last 0.3. If you want, you can trail your hard stop, but please be aware that the hard stop is the price the broker knows. And you know, sometimes what happens at the 0.2 with the trick of the market, it happens at the 0.3 also. So, and sometimes you have the spikes and then the price turns around and continues the previous direction. So therefore, it's a smart thing if you work with a soft stop and wait if you if you have a close above, and then you can trail the hard stop, and then you're out. Yeah, this behavior, financial behavior, I call it financial behavior smart trading. You can do if you have money management where is in your comfort zone, and if you're not looking at the money, if you just follow the technical part in trading, then you can work in this way. So next one is Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So I opened the second trend, long also, and the short trend is also still running. So here we have 2 trades. So you see, that's what I mean with cutting the loss. Here I opened this position at this price in the second trend arm, but when I can see, I don't see a trend continuation to the third trend arm, and I have blue candles against my position, I trail the stop and I'm out immediately. But also it goes back to my watch list. And if I see the price turns around and will continue the price again, I open the position again. But now I can see, okay, the prices will not working for me. So if this blue candle is done at 11 o'clock, I trail my hard stop and I cut the loss again. Because if the price is going lower, then my short position is going into the profit. So I don't know which trend will continue, but as a trend follower, I have to be prepared for every trend and the direction. I don't care about the direction. I don't care about the Australian dollar. I don't care about Japanese yen. I don't have to make a fundamental analysis, because it's explain how, but not where you get in, where you get out. So be careful with fundamental analysis. It's just marketing. It's just to influence the crowd to come into the market and to find anything in the market. So, but don't forget the message. Trading is a zero-sum game, and therefore you need a mathematic edge on your side. Next one is Australian dollar, Swiss franc. No, Australian New Zealand dollar, and you see, that was good that we opened the trade a third time. Actually, you see, there is a trend continuation here. Here we go. That's beautiful. and the soft stop is above the last 0.3. So let's see what happens next. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. I have still 2 trades open. The long, there is a stop loss a little bit too low. I react too late. I saw this too late. Unfortunately, it was not on the screen. But I have a short position also open. So if the price is going down, then it equalizes the position. Euro USD, I love it. So you see, that's a perfect example what I mean when you cut the loss. I have to open the trade on the short side because it was the second trend arm. But when I see the price is not working for me, out, immediately out, cut the loss immediately, nothing to discuss. It's not working, out. Yeah, no hope, no whatever there is, no emotions, yeah, controlled emotions. So, and now the long trend is continuing. And you know, I have indeed 3 pyramiding positions here open. And let's see. And the point of control is much way higher. So let's see if this trend is really working. Euro Japanese yen, despite we have this break here at the last 0.3, I was still in because it was a big spike. So I trailed a hard stop and I'm still in. And I also have a short position open, yeah, and actually both are in profit for the moment, yeah. So let's see what happens next. Oh, by the way, in case you don't have an open position in long side, then this is a new trend, and this is fine because the old long trend is basically broken. So this is a new uptrend, and this is in the second trend arm. And maybe you can make an entry on the way up. Don't miss it in case that the price will going higher. Euro New Zealand dollar, yes. The short position comes back to the entry. Yes, it's 1, 2, 3. It's the 4th trend arm. So my hard stop is above, or my soft stop is above the last 0.3 here. Yeah, and the long position is still running. So I can let it go. Yeah, both trades, but I don't know which will continue. Euro USD we talked about. British pound, Japanese yen. Also 2 trades open. The short is running, and the long is also running in the second trend arm. But about the long position, I trailed my hard stop because there, you see, there was blue candles against my position, so I trailed already. And if you're not in, then you can speculate, or you can set a pending order on the way up to that you make sure that you don't miss this trend in case that the price will go up. Finally, British pound USD. I were pyramiding here already with the second position, because we had a close lower than 38, and the trend actually is running. There's no trend continuation yet, so there is no permission to trail the stop right now. So just let's see what happens next. If we will see blue candles against my position, yeah, then I will trail the stop for the second position closer, and I will cut. But don't miss the re-entry in case of. New Zealand Canadian dollar, the long trend is still running. Actually, that was a trick, so just wait and just let it go. And finally, US dollar Japanese yen. The long is still running, and the short is also running. And the short is also in profit. Also, the long is in profit. So this, you can make money with both trades on both sides. That's really, really, really interesting. So for an expert, it takes just 1 month to bring a viable and reasonable amounts, but for a beginner, it takes 3 months upwards. Okay, that's a really interesting question. Can you prove it? This is a big one. That's the big deal. Can you prove it? So I have some colleagues, they make a really funny game. Yeah, they open an account and they trade for 3 months. Then they have a profitable account. So for example, 10%, 15%, 7%. Then they stop trading. And if they were asked how much money you make or how profitable are you in the year, then say, yeah, if I calculated about the year, then I have 40%. Now, this is not real trading. This is an illusion. Yeah. If you want to know if someone is really successful, then ask for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years with a real account, not for 3 months. 3 months is an accident. Yeah, so be aware and don't believe such illusions and such promises. Yeah. How many blue candles before cutting the loss? It depends if how big the blue candle is. But most of the times, if you have a clear trend candle against your position, then I trail the stop loss. Okay, so that's fine. So my question of the day was really interesting. How long does it take to grow from a small account to a big account? So we have a clear result. 53% says 10 years, 43% says 1 year. So first of all, we have to clear what is a small account. So a really small account, I would say, is less than $1,000. This is a really small account. But basically, a small account is also 5,000. Yeah, and below 10,000 is also a small account. So what is a big account? A big account is 50,000, 100,000. That's a big account. If you calculate your money, if you trade properly, and you have a clear behavior in trading, of course, 1 month is an illusion. It could be happen. Yes, you can double an account from 1 month from you. Of course, it is possible, but then it's based on accident. Because if you follow rules, if you have a proper trade management and money management, it's not possible to 1 year. It's not possible. If you go all in and if you're a lucky guy, then you can do that. But this is not what happens for the rest of your life. Of course not. Otherwise, there were no trading anymore. 1 year is really close, yes, of course, and 10 years, yes, that's absolutely true. So let me say thank you for listening on this day off here. Now I will cut, and I wish you a wonderful Father's Day and maybe the rest of the week, and I hope we'll see each other tomorrow again. And with this in mind, have courage and be kind